Hello and welcome back to Harry Shoots People. So it's week 2 of Film February this week and we're at my friend Harry's flat here to take some portraits of him. And this week we're shooting CineStill BWXX negative on 120. BWXX negative is a black and white variable speed motion picture film, which means with the correct compensation you can virtually shoot it at any ISO. It's registered for a base ISO of 200 on daylight and 250 using tungsten. Not sure what we're going to shoot it at yet. We're going to see what the lighting conditions look like and then go from there. So yeah, let's load this into the Mamiya. I feel like I didn't do the best job of explaining the BWXX, so I'll tell you a little bit more about it now. So, CineStill's BWXX is a panchromatic black and white negative film that is based on Kodak Eastman's BWXX 5222 motion picture film stock. Speaking of the motion picture version of this film stock, The Lighthouse, Raging Bull, Schindler's List, Memento, Casino Royale and Kill Bill Volume 1 were all shot on it, all of which this YouTube video will be better than. Anyway, an additional feature of the film stock is the eponymous variable speed, which means you can rate it at anything between 200 and 1600 with the appropriate development compensation. I don't really understand what this means because surely any film is a variable ISO if you have the appropriate development compensation. I don't know, I guess maybe I just don't understand it, or maybe it just means that it holds up better to being pushed and can be developed easier and still looks good. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, it's a pretty cool selling point and it means you've got a lot more options of what to rate the film stock at when you're shooting it. So with all that being said, let's actually get down to shooting it. Okay, so for this first shot, we've decided to rate it at 200 and we're just going to take a portrait of Harry's face with sort of the light from the lamp beaming down. We're going to rate it at 400 instead. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this first photo came out really nice. Really nice tones in both the blacks and the whites, and I really like the sort of spotlight effect going on in Harry's face as it sort of turns into shadows towards the other side of his face. Boom. First one done. Okay. Look a little bit more down. Yep. 3, 2. This second photo also came out really nice. I love how contrasty the film stock is and it works really well to simplify the textures of the image and really makes you focus on the subject, which is really nice. I think if this image was shot on like a colour film stock, there's kind of slight variations and hues in the different colours of the like couch and its cushions could kind of distract from the subject. But here it's really nicely, like it all sort of fades away into shadow and like you don't have as much like textural detail. So it leads your eye more towards the subject. For this next shot we decided to switch things up and go into the kitchen where there was a little bit more light, well a lot more light, but we were very pushed for space, so that was kind of the trade-off. We still ended up shooting a full body portrait there, but I just don't think it's maybe as strong as some of the other images. Speaking of being pushed for space, I really liked the sort of angular lights that were coming in through the different various doors in the hallway. So I decided to pose Harry here in a little bit more of a deliberate and slightly more unconventional for me posing, but it came out really nice in the end. And I'm glad that it paid off and I do like the shot, and maybe I'll be sort of going for a bit more outside the box for myself. Obviously it's not particularly outside the box, but for the kind of photos that I normally take, which is normally just standing full body portraits, it's a bit more interesting. And also here, I think it works really, really well with sort of the light and the shadows. It creates different shapes within the lights and shadows, which is interesting. And I like all the sort of leading lines everywhere. That's pretty cool too. This image I really, really love. It came out really nice again, that nice shadow fall off, and I'm loving how crushed the blacks are in this stock and how it fades away into sort of complete shadow. This image could be a touch sharper, but the RB is a very heavy camera, specifically when being held upside down by my arms. It seems to get even heavier. Okay, so we've just finished taking some portraits inside the house. I think we've got about 4 or maybe 5 shots left. So we're now going to head outside and we're going to take some more traditional sort of full body fashion editorial kind of ones with some nice new clothes that Harry's got from Japan. Let's go. Do a shot every time I put my thumbs up. So here you get to see the BWXX in a little bit more of a balanced daylight setup, and it's equally as nice. Definitely more reminiscent of HP5 when shot outside, but I'm still very impressed. I love these sort of full body portraits that you can take on the RB. Objectively though, some people might say it would be a little bit nicer if the image was actually in focus. Again, that slight focal distance being off comes back to haunt me again. I feel like I definitely sort of get a bit anxious and paranoid once I've locked in my focus, and I sort of end up like micro adjusting it, which just lends to it being off. So maybe I need to be a little bit more, have a bit more trust in my gut and the instinctual first feeling of, okay, it's in focus, and I just need to go from there.
Are you even recording?
Yeah, of course I'm recording. Okay, so for this next one, we're going to try something a bit sillier, a little bit goofy. We're going to try for Harry with the skeleton gloves sort of punching at the camera. A little bit like that one photo of Andre 3000, but way cooler. Anyway, let's give it a try and hope I don't break my camera. It's pretty, I think it should be fine. Right, okay, record. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. I really, really love how this image came out. It's pretty much exactly how I thought it would be, which came out so cool. The motion is really, really nice without sort of being too confusing or distracting. And you can really clearly still make Harry out, so that doesn't take away too much from the background either. So yeah, definitely a favourite from this shoot, sort of high risk, high reward. Nice, and that is all. Thank you. Oh, we were frame for that. Just look. So that, I think ladies and gentlemen, is a wrap. Yippee! Gonna go and drop this off now. Let them know that we shot at 400. Hopefully there's no issues. And yeah, I'll see you guys in about 10 days. Okay, so with week 2 of Film February done and dusted, what did I think of CineStill BWXX? Honestly, really, really enjoyed it yet again. I just love how all the images came out, and it's quite surprising for me to like this high percentage of images on a roll, and I think that really speaks to how good this film is. I think it's just been a really nice showcase of what's possible with the film stock. We've had that sort of more direct and more intentional lamplight setup in the earlier images, and then gone to a little bit more of like a general and dispersed daylight light, and I think both work completely fine and came out really nice. And I think the images work equally well as both examples of the film stock and also just portraits that myself and Harry are both happy with. I think as well, it just goes to show how useful that variable ISO can be, as initially at the start of the shoot I intended on shooting at 200 ISO, but there wasn't enough light, so we pushed it up to 400, which granted is only one stop, but the images wouldn't have come out anywhere near as nice if I didn't have the option to push it that one stock and it still be equally as good, as if like you could show that to someone and say this is just a 400 ISO stock and they wouldn't say anything. Obviously, yeah, that's only pushing it one stop, but I feel like exponentially it just gets more and more impressive the higher ISO that you need. For example, pushing it from like 200 to 800 and it's still looking fine would be great. So I guess I can eat my words from the start of this video. I think my personal favourite images from this shoot would have to be the aforementioned punching shot, and then maybe also the second picture of Harry's head laying on the couches. I really like that one. So with all that being said, another successful week of Film February, and I'll definitely be shooting CineStill's BWXX in the future. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Let me know which is your favourite image in the comments below, and let me know if you've shot BWXX before too. If you like this video, drop it a like, and if you'd like to see more of my photography, or week 3 of Film February coming out next Friday, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.